Hey, welcome to Eat Your Backyard, my YouTube channel where I talk about all kinds of cool things in my yard. At least I think they're cool. And today, I'm going to make a banana video with the help of my son, Jonathan. Thanks, Jonathan.
Hey, anytime, Pops.
Alright, this way. Well, Hurricane Matthew came and went. Dogs are here to stay.
That's what I'm saying, brother. What type of dog? That's what I'm wondering.
It's gonna be alright, little guy. We're just picking some bananas. Or no. So, we have been watching these.
What type of dog is it?
Hey there. Hey, buddy. It's okay. Here you go. Here you go. There. Now I got a friend. Okay. Had to make friends with the new dog. He's happy now, he knows me. Anyway, so these bananas have been growing for a good amount of time, and we've watched them over the last couple of years. It generally takes about 2 years for a banana tree to produce the fruit, and we had to reduce the quantity of these banana trees dramatically when Matthew was coming on because they were up in these power lines. We didn't want them beating relentlessly onto the power lines, so you can see that these stumps here are indicative of where we cut down some of the bigger ones that were running up into the power lines. And then, you know, little pups grow up. Like this one doesn't look like it's going to make it. That happens sometimes. Maybe it will. But we took some of the pups and we transplanted them here. So we kind of maximized. There's one there. And when you chop down the others, it just gives more vigor to the ones that are remaining. This, I don't know if you can see it, this banana, a hand of bananas up here, has been up there for about 6 months or so, growing slowly. And now it's at the point where it's ready to cut. And the way we know that is, look at that, is that you start to get ripe ones down at the bottom. Now, if you wait too long, you get at the point where they're gross gloves. I don't want to touch the actual fruit with it, but you know, it's got that very small, not like the kind you get at the grocery store, very small, but incredibly thin skin on them as well. But these are basically ripe. It's not exactly yellow like you might find the kind you get at the grocery store when they're ripe, but pretty close. I mean, it's almost like a leaf thickness. And now this is, by the way, it's just great fertilizer. You just throw that out on the... But the flavor of these bananas is absolutely incredible. So sweet. I mean, you haven't had a banana till you've had one of these. This is a Musa banana, but there's lots of varieties, but generally wild grown bananas are delicious, so I'm going to try one right now. That's incredible. And it's so much more sweet than a regular store-bought banana. In fact, as I'm eating this, I think it would be great to maybe jam a popsicle stick up in it and put it in some melted chocolate and freeze it. That would probably be a great way to go. But that's a lot of bananas. And this tree has run its course. So there's a lot of ways to go here, and I'm kind of evaluating what the best way is to go. Since I don't want to get into what I'm going to have to do eventually is, when this tree comes down, I'm going to have to saw it at the base, and then I'll kind of chop it into pieces. And once I do that, all the little sprouts will start to grow up around the outside, and I'll get a whole new you know, batch of banana trees, and that's good. It only gives one hand of fruit, so you don't have to worry about cutting it down, and it'll grow a lot of little pups like this. These pups will cut away from the side of these other ones here, so that they have a little more space to spread out in. But today I don't want to get into the whole deal of having to saw it out in the tree, so I'm going to attempt the acrobatic maneuver of climbing. Let's see if I can do this without ending up in the emergency room. I think I can. Alright, so here's the right tool. It's got the right width to chop that. I got a pretty good footing here. Problem is I don't want it to fall and hit the fence, so what I like to do is chop it a little bit, and then, oh, that was good as I could. Well, it was
Right.
close. Foul ball. Ah, it's tripping on me.
Hey, you almost had it.
Ah, it was so close. All right, but that's not too bad. That's a victim. We'll just throw that in there. Oh, that's a keeper. That one we'll just let it. These things deteriorate really fast. All right, we got some. Definitely got some victims of the fall. Nothing too bad. Now, one thing you'll notice is it's just dripping water. After I cut that thing, you see that? It's dripping. It's dripping water. Look at that. Dripping banana water. You could actually drink that water. It's pure. It's filtered through the plant itself, but banana plants are just filled with water. Look at this step here. It's just drenched with water. Banana water. It's just pure water. It's no big deal, but it kind of smells like bananas. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a couple that have already actually started to rot, and they will disintegrate so quickly, but you don't want to get them in the place where they're disintegrating next to all the rest of the fruit. It's just going to create a gross situation. These will, possess all the things that the banana plant is already looking for, so it's no problem just to throw it back and kind of use it as compost right away for the existing stuff, existing trees. All right, and that's pretty good. I always kind of expect that you're going to get some collateral damage when you go for the banana trees. This thing weighs about 25 pounds, believe it or not. It's no skinny thing. It's no lightweight deal, and it's a lot to kind of heft over your head and deal with, and it's going to come down hard, which is why I kind of tend to like to chop it down and just use this to stabilize this to let it fall down gently. This time I took a risk, and it paid off. Not too bad. I don't mind losing 5 or 6 bananas for the cost of all the rest. Some of these smaller ones really aren't going to produce too much, but these are pretty big. That's about as big as they get. Some of these smaller ones are not as big as they get, but more than enough. I mean, look at these. Beautiful. So what do? Just like when you bought them at the grocery store, you just put them in a sunny window. Okay, banana water all over. Just put them in a sunny window, and away you go. All right, so I'm going to put these, wait for them to turn yellow, basically. Put those there. All right. Now, let's go around to the front here. I've got another banana tree that's in an earlier stage of growth that I thought might be interesting to look at. Now, look at this one. This one actually is in great shape. Usually I like to take the banana flower off of it so that it doesn't get this far down, because I've always believed that it gives more energy to the fruit. In this case, I'm seeing that the fruit is actually pretty well matured. I almost hate to take this banana flower off, but I'm going to trim it off. I'm going to trim it off just so it has as much of a chance as possible to do well. And I'm going to let these bananas, because I don't see any that are yellow that are really ripe yet, I'm going to let them go about as long as I can. All right. Watch this trick. There you go. That's the way you do it. That's the way I do it. There it is. Now, that's an interesting flower. That's a banana flower. It's bizarre. It's coincidentally, it smells like bananas. I've always heard that if you take this banana flower off, you allow the nutrients that it will put into this to go into the fruit. So that's why I did that. It'll callus up in the end here. You see it's so wet, you can see it's dripping water out of the end here. It's tastes exactly what you might think it tastes like kind of like sucking on a banana peel. It's kind of gross. But if you were, say, that's disgusting. If you were dying of thirst, I'm all about drinking this. Otherwise, I'm not. Now, some people cook these and they eat these. I would claim you could probably cook shoe leather at some point, cooking it enough, and eat it. Yet, would you really want to? In a survival situation, maybe. These little flowers that are in here, that's actually what the banana comes from, which is kind of interesting. This little part here is the banana, and then the flower part is right there. They smell like a banana flower. Kind of not that good. These petals are just rubbery red waxy on the outside. You see this kind of whiteness here? If I wipe my fingers on it, see, it kind of wipes that off. It's almost like a rubber texture, and it's got this waxiness to it. Now what I do with all of this is I throw it back in there, because whatever that's made of is what these trees are made of, and I want the nutrients to go right back in it. Now look at these bananas up here. It's probably dripping down a bit, but they are ready to go for maybe another couple weeks, a month. I'll be looking. When I see the first banana turn yellow, it's going to be time to cut that guy down, and by that time I'll probably be finished with the other hand I just cut down. So hey, that's my backyard banana experiences. These are Musa bananas. I also have some Cavendish bananas, which are a more dwarf variety that's over in another area of my yard that I'll show you in future videos. But that's what I got on banana wise. Maybe you try some bananas in your backyard. If you're in a colder region, you probably have to have a greenhouse, but here we just throw them out in the backyard and hope for the best. So hey, if you like these kinds of videos, don't hesitate to subscribe to Eat Your Backyard. If you like this particular video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.